Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Lifeboat. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on Supporting Each Other, Part 2. I do appreciate your patience, but I will have it known before any of you start to say funny things, because I know they're coming. This, people, most assuredly, was not the fault of my big fingers. If you go and look on the repeat, you will notice that my hands were not near anything electronic. So, I shall not take any heat from people that say I had something to do with that. Let's see here. There we go. All right, people. Let's try this again, shall we? So, my hands were nowhere near anything electronic. My hands are over here. You cannot... Now, I do have to turn the live chat on, though. Don't start. Live chat. There we go. Alrighty, people. Okay. It was Johnny's fault. See, CW knows exactly what's going on. Finally, someone who understands. Almost everything can be blamed in one way or another on my older brother. Chi-Chi, that "it's all good, Captain" sounded almost patronizing. That was I know that deep down you probably did this, but it's all good, Captain. Joanna W., excellent to see you. Folks, we're going to lose some of the people. It's the nature. You know what? Seven Son, you are the funniest cat, I'm telling you. That is the donation for the ITT Technical School. You know, Mark's going to have a field day with that one. He's going to love that. Yeah, because I'm not technologically strong at the whole YouTube thing. But my hands were over here, people. No, there are prayers for Deja. I think that's probably a really good idea, people. We don't see Deja here. If we could keep Deja in our thoughts and prayers, that would probably be an excellent idea. Fi says I can't tag anyone. So as I was saying before it started to, what happened? Well, I'll tell you. I was right in the middle of a sentence. The camera went off. Everything was gone. So on the on the other screen over here, the one that keeps track of what is happening actually on Facebook, you see I've got two screens set up. One is directly in front of me. That screen films. This one down here keeps track of exactly what's going on YouTube proper. So if things are going by too quickly, right? The devil is a liar. There's no question. The devil is a liar. There's no question. Yes. Okay, Swiss Vapor. I got that. So what happened is I looked down over here, and because there is about a 20 to 30 second delay, when this thing goes dark, I'm not going to see it over here for about 30 seconds. So I got over as fast as possible and put up some posts letting you know that I had been booted offline. Now, hopefully, the purpose of that was to get all of the people to switch from that video to this video, because nothing happens automatically on YouTube. By looking at the numbers, most of the crew, at least half of the crew, didn't get the memo, and that's a crying shame, but it is what it is. The best that we can hope for is that we're able to somewhat stumble through those kind of mistakes. There has been an awful lot going on with space weather. If my partner Mark were here, he could tell you an awful lot more than I could. But what's been happening is things on the sun are making internet service sketchy. We even had some problems last night, but you probably didn't notice them. But we do run into problems whenever things start firing off of the moon. I mean, of the sun, rather. And Mark keeps really close track of all of those things and has video. And if you've never been over to Wages World, people, you really ought to go over to Wages World. It is a very, very cool channel, and he deals with space weather, with things happening off of the sun, and it gives you a pretty good idea of when you start to have problems. He says the bright note is the notification worked for take two. You know, Go figure, right? It's going to be one of those days, people. The good news is that still sketchy. I hope you're not talking that. Am I buffering people? Can I get a 5x5? Well, let me see if we get any. Now I should get usually about 10 5x5s. Last night I made a comment about when I was going. Joanna W says I couldn't get into proto mail for a little while. 5x5. Thank you, people. So at least I'm sounding good. Yeah, Mark has been talking a lot lately about what's been going on. Good, Miss V, I'm glad to hear it. About what's been going on in space and what it's been doing to the crazy uncle leaves the lifeboat. It is not by choice because my internet has gone. See what I'm saying, people? Hey, God bless you, brother. We're keeping you in our thoughts and prayers, and we hope to see you back here. Join the family, for real, full time. People, there are going to be some announcements that are going to be coming up before Tuesday. Those announcements are going to change the boat. They're going to dramatically change the boat. However, as I said earlier in the live feed, we have to evolve. It's part of what we do, especially because of what we do. It is required that we evolve if we're going to survive. That's human nature, and it is especially essential when you're talking about a YouTube channel. Now, before anybody gets all panicky, we've already evolved massively. If you go back and watch the early videos of the Tommy Scoville show, you will see that we really changed up how we did everything that we do. The first time that we went live, the lifeboat changed, or the show. I think the first time we went live, I was the Tommy Scoville show. But when we went live, everything changed because the relationships between the people on the lifeboat started to get real. People started to reach out to one another and direct message each other. They started sending each other emails, and they started to really care about one another in a way that isn't really possible with regular videos. So there was a lot of give and take back and forth between myself and the people, you people, between the audience and the host. There was a lot of give and take and a lot of communication, at which time it takes a lot to make you panic. Well, that's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that. There was a lot of give and take. There was a lot of communication, and it was decided that if we're going to do this and we're going to do it right, it has to be live. So it meant putting up much longer videos, because to come on here and do an 8-minute live doesn't give you all an opportunity to communicate, and it doesn't make the bonds that we're really trying for here on the lifeboat. So in order to facilitate that, we changed how we did everything. And it means, putting up somewhere in the ballpark of 9 to 13 hours of, of content each and every week, which is, I assure you, a lot more than most. There are a lot of channels that post once a week. That doesn't really support the kind of organization that we're trying to build. What we're trying to build is a community that, even if you don't make it every day, at least we'll be here so you can pop back in when you need that support and you need that, when your needs aren't being met in other places. Thank you so much to all of you who say that you trust me. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. So just know that some changes are coming up, and I truthfully and wholeheartedly believe that they're for the best. Any change that we make, we're never going to make one because we believe it's going to damage the boat, right? We're always going to be doing something to try to elevate this and make it so that we do a better job supporting you. That really is, I cracked my screen. I hate you. The Swiss Vapor says, at Kiss Freak, I cracked my screen. I hate you. Wow, okay. There's nothing worse than cracking your screen. It's amazing when you think about it. We have as many people as a small town. You know what, Chi-Chi? It's funny that you say that, because the town that I grew up in, Brandon, 9 days sober. That's my man right there. Brandon, congratulations, man. Stay the course. We're so happy. Proud of you, brother. We are proud of you. Chi-Chi, the town that I grew up in, Had a population of about 800 or 900, I want to say, back then. If, however, by some chance I have made a mistake on that, I know my family members will chastise me later and say, that's not how many people were there. I'm fairly confident it was 800 or 900. Since we started over notification issues, let's do a 4-hour now. Wow, would that not be great? However, we slaved over the making of some stuffing, and I am heading to the church to have Thanksgiving dinner. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying that today is the 14th, and that is not Thanksgiving. However, this is Thanksgiving at the church, so I'm going to be heading up there to spend a little quality time with the other family, group that I spend time with, who also support one another. I'm not as big as I should be, but I try to stay active with the church. To be honest, I'm not as active as I should. Wow, that was a small town. I can't tell you how small a town. Go for 9 months, Brandon. CT 555. That is the comment of the day. Let's take it to 9 months, my brother. You got 9 days. Let's go 9 weeks, and then let's go 9 months, and then we can talk about it. Right at that point, we will, we'll reevaluate. But I think 9 years or 19 or 30. It is, Chi-Chi. In my first grade class, I believe there were 8 of us. I was in a one-room schoolhouse. Believe it or not, that still happened. And I've told these stories before, but it really makes people laugh every time I do. The first girl that I ever thought was cute, right? And I should say this because I'm sure she's married now and happy, but her name was Steph, right? Stephanie. And when I decided I was going to call this girl, this is the first girl I ever dialed on a telephone. I picked up the phone and I dialed 3375. Did you get that? 3375. I did not have to dial anything but 4 numbers. Gives you an idea of just how small that town was. It'll also give you an idea of just how old the captain is. But yeah, I could, back until I was probably 17, anybody that I dialed who was in my town, I only had to dial 4 digits in order to call them. It was a very, very small town. But the state that I grew up in, at that point, there were more cows than there were people. I grew up in the state of Vermont. Very, very small state in the Northeast. Beautiful state. In fact, it's up in your neck of the woods, Chi-Chi. It was close enough where I could, in college, we could just cruise across the border. We don't need a talking head. Just let it run. We'll be here when you get back. You know what, seventh son? I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. I'm not even kidding. I probably could walk away and leave this thing going, and I don't know that anyone would notice half the time. But I would love to do that. I think I would probably run into a little bit of trouble with the people at YouTube. In fact, if you read the really small print, I think they address that. They don't like the concept of somebody running ads on something when I'm not actually here. Your slogan is never quit quitting. Mine is stay sober and stable. It's a great one. Absolutely. Stick with it. Stay sober and stable. I love it. I absolutely love it. The thing is, though, in order to get to sober and stable, sometimes you fall down a couple of times on the way. And a lot of the people that find the boat find it because they're trying to get to sober and stable. So in the process of getting there, we want to make sure they don't quit quitting. We want to make sure that if they fall down along the way, they get back up, they dust themselves off, and they keep fighting, because everybody needs to get to sober and stable. But along the way, there's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some slings, some arrows, some rain, right? Storms. Oh, I should probably stick with the boat metaphors. The seas are going to get choppy, right? There's going to be ugly wind. There will be gale force stuff, massive waves. But I promise you, no matter what hits, we're not going to quitting. And we're going to get to the point where you need to see my gorgeous face. You know she's not talking to me. And Miss V, I happen to know yours. Her slogan is, we are the captains of our own destiny. And I'll tell you something, I love that. I absolutely love that. I get the hat, but every single person here is the captain of their own destiny. And the beautiful, beautiful thing that is, people, once you really get a handle on that fact and that fact alone, the town I'm from had party lines until 1996 and no internet till 1991. That is incredible. I had a party line growing up. We really did. and I've told this story on the air, I think, before. The person that shared our party line only came up a couple of times a year. He was a broker, a stockbroker from New York. His name was Brock. But you could pick up the phone, and he would be on there having the conversation. And for you youngsters, these things happen. So two people would be on one line, and you would pick it up and go, Brock, you going to be on a while? Right? And if he said, give me about 15 minutes, you'd hang the phone back up, or you'd sneak and listen to what he said. But yeah, the party line, what a concept. It's hard to believe that these things actually occurred, but they most assuredly did. Joanna W. says that we are making her heart smile. What a beautiful thing to say, huh? That is a beautiful thing to say. Oculi Mortis says, I love choppy seas. You know what, OM? Why does that not surprise me? People, you know something? You spend enough time in a relationship like we all have with one another, and you have the benefit of the fact that all of you can see me at all times, right? But you can't usually see each other. Unless somebody has a channel that you can go and check them out, you might get a little image like this big on a thumbnail, and we know we've all taken a screenshot and then blow it up as big as we can, or we go over to the Facebook page so we can check these people out. Oculi, you got to see Oculi. I mean, Oculi looks like a rock star. He really does. I saw the bottom more than I want. I know every stone on the ground, literally. You know what, Swiss Vape? This is a great comment. I saw the bottom more than I want. I know every stone on the ground, literally. The hard part is to get the feeling for the struggle that will maybe in common. You know what? That's a beautiful comment, my brother. It really is. And I hope everybody heard that. I hope Brandon heard that. I hope anybody that's new in there and fighting. Thank you, Fi. She was talking to me. Did you hear that, people? All right. Thank you, Fi. That is a beautiful, beautiful comment, Swiss Vape. And I hope everybody who's new to the game heard that. He got knocked down and he just kept getting back up. I've said this before, too. I cannot count the number of times that I said I'm quitting and didn't. I can't. You are all welcome on my channel. There isn't much there, but there is a sea angel there. You know, people, if you got a channel and you want to put the name of the channel up on the in the chat, I do not have a problem with that. I really don't. That's why I can stay sober and stable. Well done, Swift Vape. Yeah, people, you know what? We're getting to the top of the hour. If you have a YouTube channel and you want to put a link up there or put the name of your channel up right now, go ahead and do that. I will keep yabbering for about another 3 or 4 minutes so that everybody has an opportunity to put up the name of their channel. I've never had a problem with this. Now, I will not say I want to recommend somebody's channel unless I have spent a lot of time there and I know that I'm not sending somebody someplace where you're going to be putting up content that is very, very different than mine. By that I mean, I don't want to recommend somebody to a channel and then have that person go over there and hear 35 F-bombs in the first video. That is always the Scotch Sonnet. People, there is a legend right here, the Scotch Sonnet. My goodness, my brother. I am so happy that you're here. People, this man is a poet of unbelievable skill. Truthfully, an unbelievable poet. And I can say no reservations at all on this. One of the nicest guys you will ever meet. I am honored that he is on the boat today. Scotch Sonnet, I can't tell you how much that means. Thank you so much. Now, you did stop by right at the end of this because unfortunately I am going to church for a big banquet. But we're going live again in 3 hours, people. I will be back here in 3 hours. Scotch Sonnet, please come back. Please do that. I used to see him all the time in 2 different places in social media that I am not there anymore. Time differences are a pain. Yeah, they are. And yeah, they are. And on the weekends, we do them earlier so that we can try to accommodate that. So just know, Darren, that every single weekend we do early shows to try to accommodate people from other places around on the other side of the pond, where all of you civilized people live, so that you have an opportunity to get on a couple of these. I miss you, man. I really do. I miss your poetry. I miss your sense of humor. Just a great guy, people. Really, truthfully, a great guy. That's awesome. You just made my day. So, people, we have come to the top of that of the hour where I really do have to leave, and it makes me feel horrible because we're having fun. I wish I could hang out a little bit longer, but I will do this in 3 hours. I will come back and we will do this again. And when I do, I'm going to drag Mark Wages with me. So everybody has an opportunity to pick on Mark Wages. I am going to send you an email, Swiss Vape. I'm going to do it today. I'll do it when I get back from the church function. To all of you who got on this live feed today, I want to thank you all. And I just want to leave you with a thought. Change is not always a bad thing, right? Change is not always a bad thing. So there are some changes coming up. And I really do think that the boat will be better because of it. So stay sober, stay sable. I love it. Stay strong. Between now and the next time we all get together, which will be 3 hours from now, reach out. Try to save somebody. Peace out, Oculi. Good to see you people. And remember this. You don't have to, you can choose your family, people. When they tell you that you can't choose family, don't believe them. All right? I am Captain Tommy Scoville. This has been the Lifeboat. God bless. I'm out of here. Maybe not.